contemplating something deep, my posture becomes firm. It's not agitated. If I'm thinking deep, any researcher doing PhD also, that very contemplative, posture becomes very firm and relaxed. Breathing also becomes slow and steady. There is a relationship between the breathing pattern and the lifespan. Its a general rule is quicker you breathe, shorter you live. The slower you breathe, longer is the lifespan. Everyone is born with certain number of breaths. Our lifespan is not measured on the outer calendar. Outer calendar time has no relevance in the overall scheme. In the overall scheme, in the big picture, time is insignificant. Everyone is born with number of breaths. It is up to us to how long we make you live, how slow you breathe, and how long you live. It is in our hands. That's what the principle of yoga talks about. They say mice breathe around 50 times, 60 times a minute. It lives for about 1-2 years. Dogs breathe around 35, 40 times a minute, live for about 12, 13, 14 years. Our humans breathe 15, 20, 25, depending on the type, and live for 50, 60, 70, 100 years. And elephants breathe 3 to 5 times a minute, live for about 150 years plus, 120, 150 years. Turtles breathe 1 to 2 times a minute, live for 200, 300 years. There's a direct correlation between the slower you live, slower you breathe, longer you live. It's as a thumb rule for a human, when a person is relaxed, it takes 2 seconds for inhalation, 2 seconds for exhalation. One cycle, that is called as one cycle, inhalation and exhalation, one cycle, it takes 4 seconds. In 1 minute, a person, when is calm and serene, breathes for 15 times. In 1 hour, person breathes for 900 times. In 1 day, person breathes 21,600 times. When a person breathes 21,600 times, it is called as 1 day for this body. And in a lifespan of 100 years, our quota, it says 777.6 million breaths. That is the quota we have. And it is up to us how quickly we finish off or how long you extend. Instead of taking 4 seconds per cycle, if I take 8 seconds per cycle, I am practicing yoga, I don't get stressed quickly, and I take 8 seconds per cycle. 21,600 for this body, but outer clock has gone only 12 hours. Has gone 24 hours, 48 hours, 2 days. 1 day for the body, outer clock says 2 days. And 100 years for the body, outer clock says 200 years. And alternatively, instead of taking 4 seconds per cycle, I am under stress all the time. I take only 2 seconds per cycle. 2 seconds when I start breathing quickly. It puts a lot of pressure on the heart also, on the systems, internal systems. And instead of 4 seconds, I take 2 seconds. 21,600 for this body, outer clock has gone 12 years. 100 years for the body, outer clock says only 50 years. People say that person died prematurely. And whereas there are yogis are still there living for centuries. It's not a magic. Through the practice of pranayama, they are able to extend their life. Slower you breathe, mind is calm, mind is grounded. Mind doesn't get agitated quickly. Mind is stable. When the mind is stable, you can take a right decision. Agitated mind, hopping mind. It jump to the conclusion, takes the wrong decision, and end up in regret. Calmer the mind. Your decision will be good, and your actions will be good. And the decisions are good, output will be good. It's a slower you breathe, longer you live. That's the principle behind Vasudeva Kriya Yoga also. Our breathing technique, slower you breathe. Generally, we breathe for 15 times when you are calm. When you practice Vasudeva Kriya, this breathing, you can get away with 3-4 times a minute. Instead of 15 times, you are breathing 3, 4, 5 times. You are by doing that one, you are increasing your lifespan already 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. And the slower you breathe, it's your appearance, you are grounded, and your outlook also, your face also looks very calm and serene. And people would like to associate with you. That when you are calm and serene, if you are always disturbed, agitated person, people would like to stay away from you. So, from a social point of view also, yoga for social well-being. If you want to be a good person in the society also, your makeup, physical frame, it has an impact. Yoga for the body, yoga for the mind, and for the society, social well-being. It helps for that one. Your emotions, you can manage the emotions better. In the yoga, it's Vasudeva Kriya Yoga, doing the slower you breathe, longer you live. And the slower you breathe. And another technique of a yoga practitioner, they say, yoga practitioner is not the one who runs away from the obligations. In Bhagavad Gita, towards the end it says, Chetasa sarva karmani matsanyasasta vipashrayam. Do whatever has come with a joy, do whatever it comes as an offering, not get attached. That's the secret. Do whatever it has come. Running away is not the method mentioned in the scriptures. Do whatever it comes. That infuse the energy into the community, infuse the energy into the generations, younger generations. They should look how this person has lived and get inspired. That is the doing the sadhana not for confining ourselves to us, confining to one corner. And our next generation also should look this mark of this person. This person has lived for 50 years, 80 years, and how this person was lived, how this person is contributing to the next generation also. That we have an obligation, sadhana, and inspire the next generation. And we get inspired when we read about the great people. We when we flip through the pages of the leaf of the great masters, we get inspired. And our life also should be an inspiration for the next generation. For that, practice. Slower you breathe. So slower you breathe. Calmer you are, and do the great action. Achieve the think big, think great, act big, act great, and achieve great. And in the Surya Namaskar, we talked about that mantra. It's Jive Masharadarshatam, Nanda Masharadarshatam, Moda Masharadarshatam, Bhava Masharadarshatam, Pabhrava Masharadarshatam. Pabhravama, our people, generation also, may they talk about us, talk about my accomplishment. That should be the mark. I should set a mark for myself. May the other people also, how great was that person, how much he has contributed. May that Pabhravama Sharadarshatam, the generation should talk about. That we have to have a goal for our life. We can't afford to pass the life without any goal. Have a goal. Yes, I want to hit that goal. So that next generation after also get motivated. That's the purpose of pranayama, purpose of yoga, and purpose of living. Thank you. Left thumb and index finger together.